Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the country's biggest stars and some of my favourite people. And we've got one for you today. Michelle McManus is the Scottish singer, columnist, TV presenter, radio DJ, actress. She does it all. But most importantly, she's about to lead an epic UK-wide choir of 1,400 voices from 12 choirs with purpose on a modern-day reworking of Sir Paul McCartney's We All Stand Together, which is a beautiful song with 11 charities benefiting from it, released this Friday, the 24th of November. And I'm delighted to say Michelle joins us now. How are you?
Hello, my love. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Do you know what? I'm delicious, but not as good as you. I look at your career. I can't believe it's over 15 years since you did Pop Idol. It's extraordinary.
Can you believe? Yeah, it's 14 years this Christmas. It's just a few more wrinkles than I had before, but it's been the most incredible experience in my life, and the last 14 years have just been an absolute joy for me as a result.
If you could just sum up in about 25 seconds what you've been doing in the last 15 years, that would be great.
I came back to Scotland, and I've been working for BBC Radio Scotland, and I've been presenting on the telly up here, and kind of hosting these kind of big, large events and touring with my own one-woman shows. So pretty mixed bag, but it's been just a joy.
It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, we're both the same age, both born in the same year, and it's extraordinary to think that one different turn in your career can lead to national stardom and winning a competition to lead to a career that you could never have envisaged, and another way you might have just been working in Tesco's. It is extraordinary, isn't it?
It's honestly, when you do these kind of TV talent shows, I mean, back in 2003, I didn't have a clue really, what was going to happen, or I didn't expect to win. I just thought I was going to get a couple of weeks off work and tell my mates down the pub that I met Simon Cowell at one point. That was kind of my expectations from the whole experience. But no, you're absolutely right. You kind of go from zero to hero in the space of 2 seconds when you do one of these shows, and especially if you're lucky enough to win, like I was. And it was an incredible time, an incredible experience. A complete roller coaster, and I look back now and sometimes think it was a movie I watched that didn't really happen to me at that time, because it was so bizarre, incredible, and not enough words to find to try and describe what it was like at that time.
There's nothing like being part of something when it launches at the beginning. I noticed on Saturday night I was watching their 4-hour extravaganza, and I just don't care anymore about these reality shows. We did back then. We forget how big they were and how involved we got with your story. It's a relief in a way that you did it back then, because I think now that the project is let's make telly and make everybody instantly forgettable so next year we can do it all again. It wasn't like that in the beginning.
No, I mean, the show has evolved so much. When we did the show, it was just this beautiful little talent show. Ant and Dec were hosting. You had your 4 judges who were just judges, like, kind of like Strictly, if you like. And we went out and sang. We had a minute and a half to sing each, and it was yourself with the live musicians, and that was it. You were out there on your own. Now there's kind of tigers jumping through flaming hoops and 100 backing vocalists on stage, and somewhere you've got to find the actual person that's singing, and amongst the mix it's a different beast now, it's a different animal. And as I said, for us, all we were really promised at that time was a single and an album, and that was it. We weren't promised kind of international superstar fame, that kind of comes with the territory and that people expect when you do these shows. So for me, it was in the right time in my life, the right time to do it, and I just wouldn't change a thing.
One of the things that was interesting back then that I look at now, I was a fat kid and I used to watch you on that programme thinking, oh, this is brilliant. Finally, talent overcomes nice knockers or having abs or having nice arms. You were the first, I think, of that reality generation that went just be you, and you embraced that so beautifully. You must have had amazing confidence, because it can't have been easy with so much interest from the press.
It was honestly extraordinary at the time, because I was somebody who had been overweight my whole life. I'm still overweight now. I've been up and down and yo-yoed, and I'm starting a new diet every Monday, that kind of thing. And at the time, I felt relatively, you never want to be a poster girl for obesity, don't get me wrong. I'm always looking to better myself and remain healthy and that kind of thing. But back then, I was 23, 24 years old. I was a size 20. I was kind of prepared for it, because you don't go on telly as a size 20 woman and expect no one to notice. The level of controversy surrounding it, and the fact that it was debated about in Parliament and it was spoken at length up and down the country in various different media outlets, was it did kind of take me by surprise, just how vocal people wanted to be about this, and some people were really disgusted, at that time that I was allowed on telly, never mind singing. But, something you can't control what other people think about you. You just can't. It doesn't matter what you do. You have to accept that people are entitled to an opinion, and people will always have an opinion on someone that they've never met before, and that's just part and parcel of it. And yeah, I was lucky. I've got a great family and great friends, and kind of my head screwed on properly. So it never really affected me as it could have affected other people, I think.
Wouldn't it be interesting if you went on now, because there's so much about fat shaming and embarrassing people. I mean, just this morning, I've seen 3 consecutive articles, one about transgender, one about gender fluid, one about overweight, one about autism. We're so hyper aware now that you can't make those type of comments. It would be interesting to relive it today.
Yeah, I don't think you would ever get the level of outrage and media being so vocal about my size now, which is a good thing, because I think at the end of the day, when you're putting yourself on a TV talent show to sing, that's what you're there to do. You're there to sing. It's not necessarily how gorgeous you look or how brilliant you would look in a girl band and in a kind of skimpy outfit. You're there to sing.
Yeah.
When you close your eyes and listen to music or on the radio, that's all you hear is the voice, and you would like to be judged for that if it was at all possible.
I just listened to this new record, We All Stand Together, and again, that beauty you have in your voice. I mean, you were always very, very pretty, let's face it. Everybody said that at the time, but your voice is so beautiful and seems to be even more rich than it was then. Are you getting better with age? Are you like an old bit of cheese or a nice bottle of wine?
I love that. I'm going to call myself an old bit of cheese. That's brilliant. My voice has changed. It's got a little bit deeper. It's a little bit richer because I still sing so much. So it's like a muscle. If you use it, I think you probably it gets a little bit better. But to be honest, I think all the credit on this track has to go to the arrangement. It has to go to the choirs. It has to go to the orchestration. Before I sang a single note, when I heard the track, it was so beautiful. It was so pretty because of these 1,400 voices that have come together. I'm just one of those voices, and I think a huge credit because of the way the record sound has to go to the production, the orchestration, the arrangement, and the choirs. So they probably make me sound a little bit better. I would like to think it's just a wonderful, and it's such a nice song. I mean, I'm gutted the frog chorus isn't in it anymore. I'm not going to lie, I loved that as a child. But when you actually strip this song back and you listen to the lyric and you hear it in this new arrangement, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's anthemic as well. Tell me about this project, because prior to getting the email about it, I'd heard nothing about it. It's a new album. There's 30 tracks: As, Seasons of Love, Wings, One Day Like This, Happy Together, My Everything, Higher and Higher, Proud, My Heart Will Go On, Clouds, One Voice, We All Stand Together. And of course, these are all sort of empowering songs. That's the point of this project, isn't it?
Listen, it's such a positive project to be involved with. These are 12 choirs that have come together. You've got the Missing People's Choir, who were on Britain's Got Talent last year. You've got MND in Scotland, Motor Neurons Disease. You've got the UK Hospices Choir from all over the country. You've got the Powers High School that sang with Ariana Grande for the One Love concert for the Manchester appeal after those terrible bombings that took place in the summer. And out of all of that tragedy, because there's a lot of tragedy involved in why these people have come together in these choirs, comes this really, really positive album. And it's incredible, I think, and I'm so honoured to be a tiny part of it, because that's what choirs do. It's not just about singing, it's about bringing people together, it's about creating a community. And I suppose it's about saying that, yeah, we have suffered tragedy in our lives, but we're going to do something really positive with this experience. How they do it, I'll never know, but they do it. And we're going to create awareness, and we're going to raise money, and that is the beauty, because every penny raised from this single that's getting released on Friday and then the album on the 15th of December is going to these charities, and that for me is everything. That's why we're doing it.
So the album's released on the 15th of December and the single's released this coming Friday. You can get it via Amazon. We've put a link at the bottom of our page. Is there a website as well where people can go?
Yeah, I mean, I think, the wonderful web, if you just go on and go into any search engine and put in Choirs with Purpose, all the information will come up there. There's so many, because each choir will have their own websites and stuff as well, and information, because it's a really good point that you make. It's not just about raising money, it's about raising awareness. So there might be a choir local to you that you didn't even know, because the choirs are up and down the country from all across the UK. So you might hear there's a choir local that you might want to volunteer and help or donate to. So yeah, I mean, get online, get on the search engines and looking up Choirs with Purpose, because there's so much information out there, and it's honestly, the album is fantastic. The single is so beautiful and pretty, and not only will you be getting some great music, but you will be making a difference to so many people's lives. And it's Christmas, you know. Charity is always at the forefront, I think, of everyone's mind, especially around this time of year. You know, it's when we kind of think of others.
Absolutely.
And it's a great time to do it, and we're just so grateful from the positive reaction we've had so far to this, and we really are.
I presume, like me, you're now 37. If you were born in 1980, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to work that one out. And I wonder what your life is like now. I mean, you're still referred to sort of in legend by people like Alan Carr and referred to. Is it fun being you at this point now? Are you having a ball?
Do you know something? My life is incredible. I am such a lucky girl. You know, I just got married this year. We've had another absolute storming year. Kind of career-wise, you know, with all the different things that have happened. We sold out the Edinburgh Festival again, and life is wonderful. You know, life is very, very good. And I have, you know, I didn't move to LA and marry Brad Pitt or be like One Direction and Little Mix and have, you know, the world tours, but I had the loveliest life as a result of doing this show, you know, and I'm extremely grateful. The fact that 14 years later I am still working, you know, that people still want to be involved with me and work with me, and you know, so I just feel incredibly lucky, and yeah, life is really good.
I think the moral to that story is that X Factor and Pop Idol can create the hype and the whirlwind of PR, but it can't create natural talent, and you can stand in front of any microphone and impress any audience because you've got that beautiful voice. Thank you so much for your time today. Let's do the big plug then. Choirs with Purpose is available from middle of December as an album, but the single is released, We All Stand Together by Sir Paul McCartney, this Friday. It's an epic UK-wide choir, 1,400 voices from 12 choirs with purpose. And I'm delighted to say that Michelle McManus sounds absolutely gorgeous on it. Michelle, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to talking to you again.
Listen, it's been nothing but a pleasure. It's been really lovely. Thank you very much.